Hello everyone, welcome to Slow Survivor. Aji test number 5 APSC CCE Prelims 2026 or General Studies paper 1. To আপোনালোকে সবে জানে তে কিমান মার্কস থাকে কিমান ঘন্টা এবিলাক ইয়াত বহুত মানে ইম্পর্টেন্ট কোয়েশ্চনস ইনক্লুড কৰা আছে কারেন্ট অ্যাফেয়ার্স আৰু ইপিনে 30 to 35% যেটো আসাম রিলেটেড APSC ৰ কাৰণে কোয়েশ্চনস আহে GS paper 1 so everything is focused in here আৰু এটো ক্লাস 2 সালে আপুনি বহুত কথা শিকিব পাৰিব আৰু মই যেহেতু মক টেষ্ট দিও গতিকে মই কলম বহি লৈছো কিমানটা কাৰেক্ট হয় কিমানটা ফুল হয় হেকেটা মই লিখি ৰাখো আৰু তেনেকে মার্কস তো মই ক্যালকুলেট কৰি কিনে হেখত মই কৈ দিও কিমান মার্কস পালো আপোনালোকেও যদি বিচাৰে তেতিয়া হলে টেষ্ট কৰি চাব পাৰে কলম বহি লৈ কিনে So let's start. Question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding the POSA system in medieval Assam. POSA system. It was a practice where the Ahom government paid a share of produce to hill tribes to prevent raids into the plains. Wow. Ahom government bila mane POSA system or mane joriote যে হিল ট্রাইবস বিলাকক মানে দিছিলে আৰু যেনেবা কিবা এটা শেয়াৰ নহলে হিলস ট্রাইবে মানে প্লেন্স ট্রাইব বিলাকক মানে আক্ৰমণ কৰে এই কাৰণে it was first initiated by King Pratap Singha কৰিছিলে the system was completely abolished by the British immediately after the Treaty of Yandabu ইনাবৰ পিছত কমপ্লিটলি ব্ৰিটিছে হেৰি কৰিছিলে POSA system to মই নাজানো কিন্তু এটো হ'ব লাগে it was first initiated by Pratap Singha যেটো হ'ব পাৰে British immediately after the Treaty of Yandabu ভালকে নাজানো তথাপিও এটা গেছ কৰি কিনে all 3 দি দিও কিবা হয় all 3 C এটা B হে correct answer only 2 are correct in here to negative পালো only 2 are correct in here কোনটো ভুল হৈছে এতে 1 and 2 are correct POSA system to Britishৰ আৰু পিছত যে এবলিছ হৈছে এটো নহয় তাৰ মানে POSA was a payment in kind of labor given to kind of labor given to hill tribes like the Akas, Daflas and Miri bilak Aka, Dafla bilak দিব লগা হৈছিল by the Ahom state to maintain peace on the borders border বিলাকত শান্তি স্থাপনৰ কাৰণে Aka, Dafla, Mikir বিলাকক কিছুমান পেমেন্ট পইচা দিব লগা আছিল ন লেবাৰ in kind or labor হাজিৰা কৰাৰ নিচিনা ঠিক তেনেকুৱা it was systemized by Pratap Singha systemized কৰিছিলে statement 3 is incorrect because the British didn't abolish it immediately they initially continued it but converted the payments from kind to cash malikana আগতে মানে পইচা মানে কি তো পইচাটো বলে আৰু কিবা কেছ হিচাপত নগদ হিচাপত হেৰি কৰিছিলে চেঞ্জ কৰিছিলে তেতিয়াহ'লে আগতে পেমেন্ট হিচাপে কি POSA was a payment then in kind of labor মানে কাম কৰি দিছিলে given to hill tribes মানে পাহাৰীয়া মানুহবিলাকক লেবাৰ পঠাই কিনে কাম কৰি দিছিল আৰু হেল্প কৰিছিল কিন্তু ব্ৰিটিছৰ পিছত এটো POSA system মানে যেটো কাম আদান প্ৰদান আছিল হেতু আদান প্ৰদান নহয় কাম যেটো কৰি দিছিল হেতু টকা দিছিল আৰু তাৰ ব্ৰিটিছৰ পিছত এনেকে সিস্টেম কৰিছে with reference to the Suryamuni sandstones often mentioned in the context of ancient trade consider the following statements sandstone Surjamuni তাৰ ওপৰত they were high quality decorative stones exported from the Pragjyotish kingdom to the Roman Empire প্ৰাগজ্যোতিষপুৰ কিংডমৰ পৰা মানে এক্সট্ৰাক্ট কৰি কিনে এক্সপৰ্ট কৰিছিলে না ৰপ্তানি কৰিছিলে ৰোমান এম্পায়াৰবিলাকক হয়নে নহয় The অৰ্থশাস্ত্ৰ mentions the Suvarnakudia region in ancient Assam as a source of fine textiles and precious stones. Suvarnakudia fine textile আৰু কি আছিলে precious stones আছিলে. They were high quality decorative stones. এইটো হ'বই হ'ব লাগে দুটাই কাৰেক্ট হ'ব লাগে দেই only two নহয় both হ'ব লাগে yes both are correct Ancient Assam Praxutis Kamrupa was famous for its natural resources. Kautilya's Arthashastra mentions Suvarnakudia and identified by scholars as part of ancient Assam for its superior silk and precious materials. Silk and precious materials trade links extended through the Silk Road and the maritime channels toward the Roman Empire. Toward the Roman Empire, Rome লৈকে লৈ গৈছিলে আৰু Silk Roadৰ জৰিয়তে Silk Road এটা আছে নহয় Question number 3 Consider the following periods beginning the revolt of 1857 in Assam 1857 at Moniram Dewan executed in Jorhat 1857 executed Moniram Dewan যদিও ইয়াৰ লগত জড়িত আছিল কিন্তু 1858 হে মৰিছিলে Moniram Dewan জড়িত আছিল executed in Jorhat এটো হয় যেনিবা কিন্তু মৰাৰ টাইমটো তেনে পিয়লি বৰুৱা Moniram Dewan Pioli Burra hanged along with Moniram Dewan to Pioli Burra do hoy Kondar Pesor Sinha sentenced to death but later committed to life committed to life eto ki kusile sentenced to death but later committed to life মৃত্যুৰ হেৰি দিছিলে তাক শুনানি দিছিলে কিন্তু পিছত লাইফ ইমপ্ৰিজনমেণ্ট দিছিলে আৰু ন কন্দৰ পেছৰ হৈছে হ'ব পাৰে দুটাতো কাৰেক্ট হয় কিন্তু লাষ্টটো এইটো কাৰেক্ট হ'ব লাগে দেই অল থ্ৰী দি দিওঁ ডি এহে হয় দুটাহে হয় সৰি এইটো নেগেটিভ হৈ গ'ল ন এইটো নাজানিছিলোঁ কন্দৰ পেছৰ চিনাটো নাছিলে Okay, Moniram Dewan Pioli Burra were hanged on 26 February 1858. 1857 not হৈছিলে to revolt to in Jorhat. Kondar Pesor Sinha, the young Ahom prince. Ahom prince asile young was arrested and detained in Alipur jail. Kolkata Alipur jail detained korasile and later in Guwahati anisile. He was not sentenced to death. Mrityu diyan asile. He was not sentenced to death. Purely sentenced to death, but later just arrest for death sentence or Okay, question number 4. In the context of the Indian Constitution, the doctrine of essentiality is often used by the judiciary to determine doctrine of essentiality determine which administrative powers are essential to the governor protect certain religious practices under article 25 itwe hoy this is religious practice or prote hoy itu biye hodei biye yes itu agote maisho korbat Doctrine of essentiality was invented by the Supreme Court in the year 1954 at Sirur Mut case or doctrine of essentiality Sirur Mut case in 1954 it allows the court to determine which religious practices are essential to the faith and therefore protected under Article 25 article ভিতৰত দিয়া আছে ন কোনবিলাক ৰিলিজিয়াছ মানে কি কয় ট্ৰেডিশ্যনবিলাক ফ'ল' কৰিব প্ৰেক্টিছবিলাক ফ'ল' কৰিব পাৰি কিন্তু নোৱাৰে while non essential practices can be regulated by the state যিবিলাক আৰু নোৱাৰে মানে যিবিলাক ৰেগুলেট কৰে নোৱাৰে বুলি সেইটো নোৱাৰে সেনেকৈ 1954ত চিৰুৰ মুড কেছৰ doctrine of essentiality Article 25 on the basis of religious belief. Question 5. With reference to the deep sea mining, consider the following statements. Deep sea mining or the International Seabed Authority is the body that regulates mining in international waters. International Seabed Authority hobo pare etu hobo polymetallic nodules found on the ocean floor are resources of manganese, nickel, and cobalt. Ito hobo polymetallic nodules. Deep sea floor মানে এইবিলাক পাই এইটো manganese আৰু nickel আৰু cobalt বহুত পৰিমাণে থাকে তাতে India is the first country to receive a pioneer investor status for mining in the Indian Ocean. India is the first country to receive a pioneer investor status for mining in the Indian Ocean. Oceanot mining koratu to pareru. How many of the statements are correct? The first country to receive a pioneer investor status for mining. How pare? All three should be correct. C hoy. Yes. C to correct hoy gol. Okay, এইবিলাক নজনা কথা জানিব পাৰি এইকাৰণে মোকটো দিলে ভাল আৰু all statements are correct the international seabed কি আছিল এটো international seabed authority established under United Nations climate কি to it or C এনেকৈ হ'ব কিবা পাহৰি থাকিলো ইয়াৰ ফৰ্মটো মনো C related আৰু না manages the seabed polymetallic nodules are critical for green energy batteries polymetallic nodules are green batteries এইবিলাক বনাইতে লাগে critical মানে metal হয় আৰু India was the first country to be granted pioneer investor status in 1987 for an area in the central Indian Ocean basin. Question number 6. Which of the following best describes the Kessler syndrome? Kessler syndrome a psychological condition caused by long duration space travel. How about day? Space travel korele long duration psychological condition hoy jana Kessler syndrome hobo pare scenario where the density of objects in low Earth orbit causes a cascade of collisions ito no hoy the repeat melting of glaciers to get a rare genetic disorder found in isolated tribal populations in the northeast ito correct hobo তেতিয়া long time কাৰণে মানে স্পেচত ট্ৰেভেল কৰে নহয় স্পেচ ক্ৰাফ্টত এটা সাইকোলজিক্যাল অলপ কন্ডিশন হেৰি হয় আৰু ন সাইকোলজিক্যাল প্ৰবলেম হয় সৰি এইটো বিহে হয় নাজানো দে the repeat melting of Kessler syndrome the repeat melting of glaciers due to localized soot deposits melting of glaciers due to localized soot deposits soot মানে কি soot মানে হলে ইয়া কি গয় জুই পুৰা দিলে যে মানে বতাহৰ লগত ওপৰত উৰি যায় হেতু জুইৰ আৰু মানে কি কো তাক ছাই মানে গ্লেচিয়াৰত মানে যাই কেনে জমা লাগে বৰফৰ যেটো গ্লেচিয়াৰ থাকে নহয় the Kessler syndrome refers to a tipping point where the amount of space junk in Leo is lowered orbit is so high that One collision এইটো বি আছিলে কিন্তু কৰ বস্তু ক'ত পঢ়ি আছোঁ মই এটা চুডৰ লগত কোনো কথা নাই B2 এইটো যিটো ascending with the density of objects in low Earth orbit causes a cascade of collisions. To Kessler syndrome, ascending with the density of objects in low Earth orbit causes a cascade of collisions. মানে যিটো lower Earth orbit আছে তাতে মানে তাতে বহুত ধৰণৰ objects পোৱা যায় ন বহুত ধৰণৰ object থাকে কি জানিবা ধূলি মাকতি কিবা তেনেকুৱা causes cascade of collisions. মানে তাতে সেইবিলাক ধৰি কৰিলে কিবা এটা প্ৰব্লেম হয় না The Kessler syndrome refers to a tipping point where the amount of space junk মানে লেটাৰ বেটাৰ মানে স্পেচত থাকে কিছুমান in Leo is so high that one collision creates a chain reaction of more collisions potentially making space activities and satellite use impossible for generations আৰু এনেকৈ জাংবিলাক থাকিলে মানে লেটাৰবিলাক থাকিলে বহুত প্ৰব্লেম হয় আৰু না ভৱিষ্যতৰ কাৰণেও মানে স্পেচ এক্টিভিটিজ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে Okay, this is it. Question number 7. Consider the following statements about the G20 group of 20. The G20 does not have a permanent secretariat. Permanent secretariat asina nai asito. G20 asina nai. Thank you lagi to. The Troika consists of the previous, current, and incoming presidencies. Troika consists of the previous, current, and incoming presidencies. I don't know the African Union was inducted as a permanent member during the New Delhi summit. African Union permanent kursil New Delhi summit ebar je hoise 2020 G20 to tough ke dise permanent secretariat to thakibo lage. The Troika consists of the previous, current, and incoming presidencies. Troika consists of the previous, current, and incoming presidencies. Troika, previous, current, and African. All of this should be correct. Hito this day. The DA did you see how DA will correct answer. Okay. G20 operates without a permanent staff. It relies on the presidency. It relies on the presidency. The Troika ensures continuity. The African Union joined in 2023 under India's presidency, making it G21 in practice. Africa Union G21 we say. So question number 8. The Mission Amrit server. Mission Amrit server frequently in the news aims to provide clean drinking water to every household in India. Develop to rejuvenate 75 water bodies in each district of the country. To correct hoy. Do B to correct hoy. B. Yes, B is the correct answer in here. It to April 2025 or 2022 launch hoise at Amrit Mission Amrit server mission, that is April 2022. Was part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations to overcome the water crisis in rural areas by rejuvenating 75 water bodies per district. Rejuvenate mane puriskar koribo kibe koribo heneke bhalke her koribo aru na নতুনকে বনোৱা নিচিনাকে সাবচিকুন কৰিব ৰিফাইন কৰিব 75 water bodies in every district na sob district kore Question number 9. With reference to the Panchayati Raj institutions, PRI, Panchayati Raj institutions, consider following Panchayati Raj institution. The 73rd Amendment Act is not applicable to the states of Nagaland, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. 73rd Amendment Act to 73rd Constitution Panchayati Raj system to Nagaland hoisil, Meghalaya hoisil, Mizoram hoisile na Manipur nasile no Mizoram hoisile eto is not question no eto wrong hobo. The celebration of a panchayat Panchayat at the intermediate level is elected indirectly by the elected members. The chairperson of a panchayat at the intermediate level is elected indirectly by the elected members. Indirectly elect করে তো না, ডাইরেক্ট তো নকৰে. Chairperson of panchayat. Oh, chairperson of panchayat at the intermediate level is elected indirectly by the elected members. যিবিলাকে elected member হয় সেইবিলাকে indirectly elect কৰে. এইটো হ'ব লাগে. Only two should be the correct answer. The only two হ'ব দে B. Oh, দুটো কেনেকৈ correct হ'লে? And that's not correct. 73rd Amendment Act is not applicable to the states of কিবা এটা আছিলে মানে ট্ৰাইবেল হেৰিবিলাক পোৱা নাছিলে নেকি? নাগালেণ্ড, মেঘালয়া এণ্ড মিজোৰামটো নাছিলে নেকি? 73rd Amendment Act এপ্লাইকেবল নাছিলে নেকি? পঞ্চায়ত ৰাজ চিষ্টেমৰ chairperson of panchayat at the intermediate level is elected indirectly by the elected members. Itu correct হয়, কিন্তু প্ৰথমটো incorrect. Okay, so I did wrong. These states they are exempted under Article 243. This Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland. এইকেইটা মানে exempt কৰিছে under Article 143 মানে কৈছে পঞ্চায়তৰ চিষ্টেমৰ পৰা. Though they have their own tribal councils tribal council কাৰণে. Statement 2 is correct. কিন্তু আসামটো কি হতেলা হলে আসাম পঞ্চায়তৰ চিষ্টেম আছিলে তো আসামতো আছিলে ন এইটো ট্ৰাইবেল হেৰিটো. While the chairperson of a gram panchayat lowest level can be elected as determined by the state legislature. The immediate and district level chairpersons must be elected indirectly. Okay. Question number 10. The Global Biofuels Alliance was launched during the G20 summit. Which of the following are its founding members? Global Biofuel Summit. Founding members. G20 founding member kon kita hoy? The India, US or Brazil, India, China, Russia. Global Biofuels Alliance. Biofuels Alliance to US. Russia, India, France, UAE, India, Germany, and Japan. Global Biofuels. Ito A this today. A. Yes. A. Correct answer. India, USA, Brazil. India, the US, the Brazil and the world's largest biofuel producers. Largest India, US, and Brazil, and consumers are the founding members of the Global Biofuel Alliance, aimed at accelerating the global uptake of biofuels. Question number 11. The term base erosion and profit shifting. Base erosion and profit shifting is associated with base erosion and profit shifting. Itu solar erosion in the Brahmaputra Valley. Itu to hobo nore profit shifting. Kenukwa? Tax planning strategies used by multinational enterprises to shift profits to low tax locations. The loss of liquidity in the banking system due to NPA. Base erosion or the loss of liquidity in the banking system due to NPA. NPA. The base erosion of and profit shifting. The reduction of forest cover due to shifting cultivation. It don't know why. One in A karo duito no mane A aro dita no hobo. Base erosion and profit shifting into tax planning Tax planning or the loss of liquidity in the banking, profit shifting, reason. Profit shifting. Itu sure multinational enterprises to shift profits. Itu B the profit shifting or lot related. B. Yes, B. Tax planning strategies used by multinational enterprises. Tax planning strategy have multinational enterprises like no to shift profits to low tax locations to low tax দিব লাগে তাত মানে বস্তুবিলাক কামবিলাক কৰে তাৰপিছত প্ৰফিটটো বেৰি হয় মানে হেৰি হয় আৰু ন পাৰে যে maybe at base reason profit shifting refers to tax avoidance strategies that tax মানে কমাই দিয়ে আৰু ন strategies that exploit gaps and mismatches in tax rules in to artificially shift profits to low or no tax locations. It is monitored by the OECD. Okay, whatever, I don't know. Consider the following statements about the boiler dealer mines. Boiler dealer mines code কি হৈছে নাজানো পাই boiler dealer mines it is famous for high grade hematite iron ore. It is located in the state of Orissa. Most of the ore from here is exported to Japan through the Visakhapatnam port. Ito correct hobo de Orissa to hematite iron ore to thakibo lage aru ito Japanot export koribole Visakhapatnam portor pora. Okay. Ito hobo lage de mor onuman boiler dila. All three should be correct, I guess. Take di diso all three come on boiler dila ihi b hoy only two kun geta hoy hodhoba nazano only two ito wrong thakile wrong hol statement 1 and 3 correct Orissa na ito boiler dila so boiler dila is located in the Dantewada district of Chhattisgarh has ki iron ore na ki pale kole hematite iron ore পায় আৰু এইটো মানে উৰিষ্যাৰ হেৰি মানে উৰিষ্যাৰ যোনটো জাহাজঘাট পৰ্টৰ জৰিয়তে জাপানলৈকে লৈ যায় ন উৰিষ্যাৰ জাহাজঘাট বিশাখাপট্টনমটো উৰিষ্যাতে হ'ব লাগে না বিশাখাপট্টনম okay 13 in the context of ancient Indian history the terms bhaga and bali refers to types of weapons length measures taxes administrative units কোনটো ভাল লাগে এটা কি কৈছে ancient Indian history টাইমত ন ভাগা weaponটো হ'ব নোৱাৰে বালিও হ'ব নোৱাৰে length measures হ'ব পাৰে নে নোৱাৰে মাটিৰ হিচাপ নিকাচ এইটো নহয় টেক্স হ'ব এইটো এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেটিভ ইউনিটটো নহয় এইটো টেক্সে হ'ব চি হ'ব yes চি is the correct answer. Land measurement Bhaga and Bali in ancient Indian history. In Vedic Mauryan period, Bhaga was the king's share of the produce. Bhaga was king's share of the produce. Bhaga means king's share, that is 1/6. And the Bali was originally a voluntary offering, which later became a mandatory tax. The Bali was originally a voluntary offering, which later became a tax. মানে ফাৰ্ষ্ট বালিটো এনে জাষ্ট দান নিচিনা আছে ন যদি ইচ্ছা কৰে দিব পাৰে কিন্তু শেষত এইটো মানে মাণ্ডাটৰী হৈ গৈছিলে মাণ্ডাটৰী টেক্স দিব লগা হৈ গৈছিলে ন কিন্তু ভাগা মানে 1/6 মানে পৰ্চন মানে হয় ন শ্বেয়াৰ অফ এনি প্ৰডাকশ্যন খেতিয়কবিলাকে খেতি কৰিলে 6/1 ভাগটো ৰাজাক দিব লাগে মানে এইটো বেদিক এণ্ড মৌৰ্যান পিৰিয়ডৰ ভাগা question 14 with reference to light fidelity Li-Fi Light fidelity, Li-Fi technology consider the following statements. It uses light waves instead of radio waves to transmit data. Light wave use great light fidelity instead of radio waves. It can work in underwater environments where Wi-Fi fails. Panir tolot mane Wi-Fi fail hoy niki. Light fidelity, it can work in underwater environments. It was a shorter range compared to Wi-Fi. It is a shorter range compared to Wi-Fi. Light fidelity, I don't know day. Guess what? It can work in underwater. It has shorter range compared to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi to बहुत कम एटू 3 to incorrect होबो. I did जिकोनो only two will be correct. B होबो लगे. It is C. All three are correct. All three are correct. I don't Wi-Fi to web instead of radio waves. Data transmission organe dorkar lage. It can work in underwater environments where Wi-Fi fails. Wi-Fi jod na jay panir bhitorot jabo pare. It has a shorter range compared to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi kyo kom. Wi-Fi kiman dur jay. Wi-Fi bisi dur to na jay Wi-Fi. 1 kilometer 1.5 kilometer khabo pare. Tatke bole etu kom aro no. The range to Wi-Fi. Light fidelity. Wi-Fi uses LED bulbs or LED bulbs to transmit data via light pulses. It is faster than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi faster works. Wi-Fi uses LED bulbs to transmit data via light pulses. It is faster than Wi-Fi. Works underwater. Light travels in water better than radio. Radio ke light basically transfer hoy no panir majot but cannot pass through walls kintu wallor hedi jabo nwari making its range shorter and more secure. Wi-Fi to more secure hoy bahiror manhe gom na pai wall ta par hoy jabo nwari jehetu ei karone no shorter ei karone secure hoy na. Okay, 15 question. The Munnar Declaration recently in the news is associated with the protection of Munnar Declaration news of the say kihor karne Munnar Declaration Western Ghat to Gatgill report aro kiba kane asle kiba Kaleshwari kiba heneke khasar kiba heneke and rights of plantation workers. Munnar Declaration Nila Kunjiri flowers. Nila Kurinji flower upor asle niki. Elephant corridors. Munnar Declaration. Right of plantation workers. Western Ghat to no day. Western Ghat no hoy. Nila Kurinji flower ki elephant corridors. To elephant corridors ore hobo dei. To D hobo lage dei. D dio si hoy dekha jabo. To right of plantation workers. Plantation workers upor ase. Munnar Declaration 23-24 context focuses on the welfare, living conditions, and land rights of tea plantation workers, particularly women in Kerala, which has resonance with the tea industry in Assam. Kerala's manubilak akomot heregori jorito ase na. Resonance to heneko hobo. Tea industry in Assam logot jorito. Okay. Halke bujhi na palo. Munnar Declaration to tea planters karone hai. Which of the following are the reasons for the high intensity of earthquakes in northeast India? The subduction of the Indian plate under the Eurasian plate in the north. Eurasian plate to north আছে আৰু subduction হৈ আছে না subduction এটাৰ ওপৰত এটা নেকি the subduction of the Indian plate under the Burmese microplates in the east and the presence of the Kopili fault in the Eurasian plate or লগতে হয় এইটো 1 to 2 correct the Indian plate under the Burmese microplate in the east Burmese লগত ইমান এটা relation নাই the presence of the Kopili fault নহয় only one হ'ব frequency high intensity of earthquake না এইটো 1 হ'ব only 1 to 9 গতিকে 1 and 2 okay 1 and 2 Eurasian Kopili fault to কোনটি আসলে নাজানো দে 1 and 2 হ'ব লাগে দে A দিছো জি হয় আৰু D হয় all 3 so sorry মই কৈছিলো all 3 হ'ব all 3 Kopili fault মানে এতে প্ৰভাৱ আছে আৰু এপিনে কি Burmese microplate এটাৰ হয় Northeast India is one of the most seismically active zones the zone 5 ত আছে না zone 5 নে 6 আছিল এটা ইনক্ৰিজ কৰিছিল 4 ৰ পৰা 5 কৰিছে বোধহয় zone 5 হ'ব তেতিয়া হলে ওতে 4 আছিল zone 5 it is compressed between the Himalayas মানে highest no compressed between the Himalayan collision north and Indo-Burma ranges that is east local faults like Kopili fault between Bhutan and Assam or Kopili fault আছে further increase risk মানে risky হৈছে basically এবারে আছে the green credit program launched by the Ministry of Environment Forest and Climate Change allows industries to trade carbon credits only Green Credit Program, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Industries to trade carbon credits only. Individuals and entities to earn credits for environmentally proactive actions like water conservation. Farmers to get low interest loans for organic farming. Green credit farming. Low interest loans for organic farming by Ministry of entities to earn credits for environmentally. It would C over there. C. Foreign investors. C over C. The B hole. Negative cancer. B hole correct answer. Individuals and entities to earn credits for environmentally proactive actions like water conservation and all of investors like interest loans. Green Credit Program by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Green Credit Program. Individuals and entities to earn credits for environmentally proactive actions like water conservation. Okay, Green Credit Program is an innovative market-based mechanism to incentivize voluntary environmental actions by various stakeholders, individuals, communities, private sector. It goes beyond. Okay, it goes beyond just carbon and includes water conservation, waste management, etc. আৰু বহুত বেছি কিছুমান আছে আৰু ন with reference to the Sikh Gurus considered the fullest peers. Guru Nanak visited Kamrup during the reign of Nilambar. Guru Tegh Bahadur visited Assam accompanied by Raja Ram Singh of Amber. Raja Ram Singhৰ লগত আহিছিল নেকি Guru Tegh Bahadur এটো হ'ব নোৱাৰে দেই শুনা নাই Guru Gobind Singh established the Damdama Sahib Guruwar in Thubri. Guru Gobind Singh Damdama Sahib Thubrit বনাইছিলে ন গুৰু তেগ বাহাদুৰৰহে আছিল নেকি গুৰু গোবিন্দ সিঙৰে আছিলে 1 and 3 কাৰেক্ট হ'ব নেকি না গোটেই কাৰেক্ট হয় এইটো গোটাইৰ মানে চান্সটো বেছি আছে গোটাইকে দি দিওঁ 1 to 3 দি দিওঁ দেই যি হ'ব এতিয়াতো এনেইটো হ'ব 1 and 3 হ'ব লাগে C দিছোঁ এতিয়া A হে 1 and 2 হে হয় নেগেটিভ গৈ আছে 1 and 2 কাৰেক্ট গুৰু নানক মানে কামৰূপত আহিছিলে নীলাম্বৰৰ সময়ত আৰু গুৰু তেগ বাহাদুৰ অসম আহিছিলে ৰাজাৰাম সিঙৰ লগত আছিলে ৰাজাৰাম সিঙৰ লগত আম্বাৰৰ গুৰু তেগ বাহাদুৰ Okay, Guru Nanak visited Kamrup in early 16th century. Guru Tegh Bahadur visited Dhubri, Assam in the 7th. Guru Tegh Bahadur আহিছিলে Dhubrit সেইটো বনাইছিলে 17th century with Raja Ram Singh during the Mughal Ahom conflicts. Okay, Gurudwara বনাইছিলে Dhubrit Tegh Bahadur and established to commemorate the visit of Guru Nanak and Guru Tegh Bahadur. Guru Nanak and Guru Tegh Bahadur, not Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh nasle. Okay. Get a question. At 19, the Golden Quadrilateral Project links which 4 major cities to Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. A hoy eti. Largest highway project in Assam connecting major metropolitan cities. Okay, in the context of cryptocurrency, what is a cold wallet? Cold wallet mane ki cryptocurrency terms or mote. A wallet stored on a device not connected to the internet. A wallet stored on a device not connected to the internet. A wallet that has not been frozen by the government. A wallet used specifically for transactions in cold climates. It is impossible. A software-based wallet on a smartphone. What is a cold wallet? Software-based wallet on a smartphone. A wallet stored on a device not connected to the internet. Cryptocurrency. Cold wallet. Why A no hai D hobo? It has not been frozen by the government. D connected to the internet. Cold wallet. That is A. Yes, A. A cold wallet or cold storage is a physical device like a USB that keeps your cryptocurrency offline rakhe no mane USB type or no physical device thake. It is the most secure way to store crypto as it is immune to online hacking. Okay. Secure no cold currency too, cold wallet too, hacking or pura. Consider the full statements regarding the Lasit Maidam in Jorhat Lasidok to cover the actually no. It is a memorial site containing the remains of the great General Lasit Borhukon. It was recently nominated for the UNESCO World Heritage Site list under the category of Maidams, the Mount burial system of the Ahom dynasty. লাচিত বৰফুকনৰটো নহয় এইটো নহয়, এইটো wrong. The site is located over the banks of the Brahmaputra River. যোৰহাট হ'লে যোৰহাট on the bank of the Brahmaputra River হয় নে নহয় যোৰহাটটো? গোলাঘাট, যোৰহাট, এইপিনে নগাঁও হ'ব পাৰে. The site is located on the banks of the Brahmaputra River. হ'ব পাৰে দেই. 1 2 correct, 3 2 correct, 1 and 3 correct. Oh, our estimates are correct. Only 2. 2 I did do. 2 2 2 2. Yes, 2. Brahmaputra Parot মানে এইটো. Lasit Madam will by Udayditya Singha. Udayditya Singha লিখিছে মানে বনাইছিলে লাচিত Madam. 1672 to honor the general, while Soraito Madam is the primary UNESCO nominated. The site is part of the broader Ahom burial tradition. Recognition statement 3 is incorrect because the Lasit Madam is located in Holongapar near Jorhat, not directly on the banks of the Brahmaputra. এইটো লাচিত মিডিয়ামটো মানে চৰাইদেউ মিডিয়ামৰে অংশ তাৰমানে ন, গতিকে 3টো নহয় মানে কুৱেশ্যন 3টো নহয় মানে ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰৰ পাৰত নহয়, সেইটো লাচিত মিডিয়ামটো, এইটো হোলোঙা পাৰতহে আছে নিয়াৰ যোৰহাটত. So 3 is incorrect, but 1 and 2 are correct. মানে ইউনেস্কো ৱৰ্ল্ড ট্ৰেজাৰ লাচিত মিডিয়ামো আছে, অমহীয়াভাৱে লাচিত মিডিয়াম. কিন্তু চৰাইদেউ মিডিয়ামটো শিৱসাগৰ চৰাইদেউত আছিলে ন, মেডাম ইজ দ্য প্ৰাইমাৰী ন, সেইটো আচল মানে মেইনটো ন, ইউনেস্কো নমিনেশ্যন. দ্য চাইট ইজ পাৰ্ট অফ দ্য ব্ৰডাৰ, ইয়াৰে পাৰ্ট হয় আৰু না অসমৰ যিহেতু বাৰিয়েল গ্ৰাউণ্ড হয়, ইও এটা ৰিকগনিশ্যন. অ'কে, এইটো কি হৈছে বিটো কাৰেক্ট হৈছিলে ন, মই কাৰেক্ট দিলোঁ নে নাই, এইটো হয়তো বিটোৱে কাৰেক্ট দিছোঁ. অ'কে, নাজানো. With reference to small island developing states often discussed in climate summits, consider the following. ইফালে কিবা মিটিং হৈছে, ইমান বক্স লগাই দিছে একেবাৰে হুলস্থুল. With reference to small island developing states often discussed in climate summits, consider the following. They are a group of developing countries that face unique social, economic and environmental vulnerabilities. এইটোতো হ'ব small island developing state, এইটোতো আৰামছে হয়. The Antigua and Barbuda. The Antigua and Barbuda agenda for small island developing states was adopted in 2024 to outline their sustainable development goals for the next decade. To outline their sustainable development goals for the next decade. Ito hobo pare 1 2 to India is a member of the small island development coalition. India হ'বনে নহ'ব, এইটোতো হ'ব লাগে. Small island development হ'ব লাগে, হ'ব. Yes, all 3 are correct. এটি ডি হ'ব, ডি ইণ্ডিয়াটো নহয় বোলে, এটি এহে হৈছে, চৰি, ইণ্ডিয়াটো নহয়. Incorrect. India is not a member of small island development states. It is a major partner and provider of aid to these nations through the infrastructure for resilient island states. বিলাকো মানে প্ৰভাইড কৰে আৰু হেল্প initiative. Okay, which of the following best describes angel tax in the economy? Angel tax এইটো মানে ষ্টাৰবিলাকক ফেৰি দিয়ে ন. Tax levied on high net worth individuals. Tax on the capital raised by unlisted companies through the issue of shares where the share price exceeds the fair market value এটা হ'ব পাৰে subsidy provided by a government to startups in the northeast an import duty on luxury goods arriving from European markets it be a tax on the capital raised by unlisted companies. Yes, this is the correct answer through the issue of shares মানে ইয়াৰ লাভ নহয় where the share price exceeds the fair market value tamar hetu pura mane kam nohoy so B is the correct answer. Yes, B is the correct answer. Angel text section 56 to yes 7B section 56 to 7B of the income tax act was introduced to prevent money laundering through investments in unlisted firms at inflated prices. In the 24-25 budget context, there have been significant discussions regarding its evolution or easing to boost the startup ecosystem. Yes, startup বিলাক আগবঢ়াই নিব লাগিব এইকাৰণে মানে revenue নলয় আৰু ন angel tax. Consider follow appears of hydroelectric projects and their prospective rivers. Hydroelectric projects and their prospective rivers. Subansiri lower project, that is Subansiri lower project, Subansiri river operate. Karbi Langpi project, Borpani river. Karbi Langpi Borpani river. হ'ব পাৰে দেই বৰপানী না বৰাপানী হ'ব বৰপানীৰ কপিলি হাইড্ৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক প্ৰজেক্ট কপিলিটো উমৰাংচুতে আছে এইটো গোটেইকেইটা কাৰেক্ট হ'ব কাৰেক্টলি মেটছড অল থ্ৰী ডি হ'ব ইয়াতে কপিলিটো নহয় 1 and 2 are correct only negative হ'ব 1 and 2 only 1 and 2 only to কপিলি হাইড্ৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক পাৱাৰটো উমৰাংচু ৰিভাৰত নহয় কপিলি নদীৰে হ'ব কপিলি নদীতে হ'ব কপিলি ৰিভাৰ হাইড্ৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক পাৱাৰ কপিলি ৰিভাৰ উমৰাংচুটোৰ কেনেকৈ হ'ব হয় নে নহয় উমৰাংচু ডিমা হাছাও আছে ৰিজাৰ্ভৰ দ্য প্ৰাইমেৰী ৰিভাৰ ইজ কপিলি ইয়াতে মই নিজে ভুল হৈছোঁ ডাইৰেক্ট মাৰি দিছোঁ সেইকাৰণে in the context of modern Indian history, the Cunningham Circular SO 1932 Assam was related to restricting the movement of for the students to join the civil for students. It is B to correct. ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীবিলাকক civil disobedience movement 1930 যেটা movement হৈছিলে civil disobedience তাত জইন কৰিব নিদিছিলে পিছত আৰু সেইটো ন Okay, the Cunningham Circular issued by J.R. Cunningham, Director of Public Instruction, that is required students to and their guardians to give a written undertaking of good behavior and non-participation in political activities, sparking a massive student protest in Assam. Okay. With reference to semiconductor manufacturing in India, consider the following statements. Gujarat to first bottom হৈছিলে ন to কি ক'ব first in নে কিবা আছিলে India's first semiconductor fabrication plant is being set up in Tholera, Gujarat. Correct. Assam is home to a major semiconductor assembly and test facility in Jagirat. Yes. ATMP. Yes, Jagirat. India's semiconductor mission is managed by the Ministry of Science and Technology. Ito hobo India's semiconductor mission. All three should be correct. All three. C hobo de B here hoye B here only two India to no hoy tar mane kontu ba bolise 1 and 2 are correct. Tata Electronics is to negative hoy no Tata Electronics is leading both the Tholera that is Feb Gujarat and Jagirat Assam assembly plant Tata হেৰি কৰিছে Tata semiconductor plant হে হয় ন statement 3 is incorrect because Indian semiconductor mission is under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology METY Electronic and Information Technology হে হয় সেইটো এটা কি কৈছিলে Ministry of Science and Technology নহয় Electronics and Technology হে Okay, 27. The eCuber platform often mentioned in financial news is the core banking solution of Reserve Bank of India. I don't know a portal for small growers to sell their products. I don't know a digital platform for the disbursement of student scholarships in Assam. An AI-based system for predicting floods in the Brahmaputra Valley. I don't know. The solution of the Reserve Bank. এইটোৱে হ'ব small tea growers to sell their এইটো A হ'ব that is Brahmaputra Valley Reserve Bank হৈছে a core banking solution of the core banking solution Reserve Bank of India এইটো হ'ব banking solution financial news ন এইটো হ'ব A হ'ব yes A explanation eCuber is the core banking solution of the RBI which allows various banks to maintain their accounts with the central bank and helps in the auction of government securities. 28. Consider the following statements regarding oceanic trenches. They are the deepest parts of the ocean floor. Yes, they are formed due to the divergence of tectonic plates. Divergent or convergent? Divergent or convergent? হ'ব পাৰে divergent হ'লে হয় convergent হ'লে নহয় The Mariana Trench is located in the Pacific Ocean. All this correct. That is D. C hole no. 1 and 3 are correct. They are formed due to the divergence of tectonic plates. Oceanic trend, tectonic plate divergence. Divergence hole. Divergence. Convergence. That divergence mane. Only C mane 1 and 3. The wrong together. Convergent high plate boundaries. Subduction zone or subduction high. Incorrect. 2 is incorrect because trenches are formed at convergent plate boundaries. Convergent plate boundaries are the subduction zones where one plate slides beneath another. One plate slides beneath another, not at divergent boundaries. Okay. Project Seabird, one of the largest naval infrastructure projects in India, is located at Project Seabird, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, Karwar, Karnataka, Kosi, Kerala, Paradip, Odisha. Seabird is one of the largest naval infrastructure projects in India. Is located Andhra Pradesh, Karwar, Kosi, Paradip, Odisha. Project Seabird today. Paradipe honige. Paradipe did দেখা যাব D. B. Karwar, Karnataka. এনে মুৰিবা দিছোঁ মই এইটো নেগেটিভ হ'ব বুলি জানো Karwarot Project Seabird এইটো Project Seabird involves the creation of INS Kadamba at Karwar এইটো INS মানে কি যে Indian It is the largest naval base in the Karwar naval base of the Eastern Hemisphere, extended to provide strategic depth away from commercial ports. With reference to the constitution bench of the Supreme Court to consider the following constitution bench. It must consist of at least 5 judges of the Supreme Court. 5 judges of the Supreme Court. It is formed only when a case involves a substantial question of law as to the interpretation of the Constitution. The Chief Justice of India has the sole discretion to constitute a constitution bench. The Chief Justice of India has the sole discretion to constitute a constitution bench. তাৰে মাত্ৰ অধিকাৰ আছে নেকি চিফ জাষ্টিছৰে কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন বেঞ্চ তৈয়াৰ কৰাৰ কাৰণে কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন বেঞ্চ চল It must consist of at least 5 judges of the Supreme Court. Constitution bench is formed only when a case involves a substantial question of law as to the interpretation of the Constitution. It to good take correct over the all three C. Yes, C. Article 145(3) mandates a minimum of 5 judges. The Constitution bench banab lage to Chief Justice of India is the master of the roster and decides which cases require a larger bench. Okay, past mane Supreme Court just lage. The Bargana Falls is located in which state? Bargana Falls to Assamot nai. Bargana Falls Assamot nai. Meghalaya nai. Karnataka, Kerala to nai. Karnataka to C hobo. C hobo. Yes, C. Kerala to put falls thakibo. The Bargana Falls is formed by the Sitha River in the Shimoga district of Karnataka. Sitha River, Shimoga district, Karnataka. It is one of the highest waterfalls in India. Wow. Bargana Falls mane highest mane nohoy jeneba highest or fitorot eta arkino not frequently confused with Meghalaya's falls in exams. Oh, frequently confused with Meghalaya's falls in exams. Meghalaya falls or boli bhabe aro beshi bage Bargana Falls to. In the context of science, what is quantum entanglement? Oh, quantum entanglement by so. A process where two particles become linked and instantaneously affect each other regardless of distance. A to Y. One is correct. The method of cooling atoms. The collision of black holes. Security. 5C to A. Quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon in quantum mechanics where the state of one particle cannot be described independently of the other. Even if separated by large distances. This is the basis of quantum computing and teleportation কৰিব পাৰে মানে এটা জায়গাৰ পৰা এটা জায়গাত বস্তু পঠাব পাৰে এনেকা কি না 33 which of the following reports is published by the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report, Energy Transition Index, World Economic Outlook. World Economic Forum or Surute, Ungeta published corporate report. World Economic Forum or Gender Report, Energy Transition Index. Energy to no World Economic Outlook. Energy Transition Index, Global Economic ito no hoy. World Economic Outlook. World Economic Forum ito Global Gender Gap Report. World Economic Gender Gap. The only 3 national only 3 as nai. Only 3 nai ki. only 3 নাই তেতিয়াহ'লে only 3 যদি নাই এনার্জি ট্রানজিশন জেন্ডার গ্যাপ গ্লোবাল জেন্ডার গ্যাপ রিপোর্ট এটুকু পাবলিশ করে নেকি ওয়ার্ল্ড ইকনমিক ফোরাম হয় দে কৰে এনার্জি ট্রানজিশন ইন্ডেক্স এইটো নকৰে নেকি 1 and 3 হ'ব এনার্জি ট্রানজিশন all 3 হ'ব নেকি all 3 দি দিছোঁ all 3 দি এটা এ হে আছিলে 1 and 2 only world economic outlook to নকৰে global gender gap আৰু energy transition index okay negative আজি বেছি নেগেটিভ কাম নেকি 1 and 2 are published by World Economic Forum. Statement 3, the World Economic Outlook is published by the International Monetary Fund. World Economic Outlook আৰু কি World Economic Forum কি কৰে gender global gender gap আৰু কি আছিলে energy world energy transition index gender index the Pathurghat uprising 1894 Pathurghat uprising is in Assam is primarily known for the protest against the partition of Bengal and the peasant revolt against increased land revenue. That is B. That is B. Yes. Jane Hohos dise dorang ase Potor good witnessed a tragic peaceful protest by peasants against the British government's decision to increase the land revenue by 7 to 80%. It is often called the government's decision to increase land revenue 70 to 80% land revenue with reference to carbon border adjustment mechanism. Considerable estimates it is a policy carbon border adjustment mechanism. The policy proposed by the European Union carbon border adjustment mechanism. It aims to put a fair price on the carbon emitted during the production of carbon-intensive goods entering the European Union. It will significantly impact India's exports of steel and aluminum. Carbon border adjustment. This is a policy proposed by the European Union. Okay, carbon border adjustment. Carbon border adjustment mechanism. It aims to put a fair price on the carbon emitting carbon border adjustment. Carbon emitted during the production of carbon-intensive goods during. Okay, it will significantly impact India's exports of steel and aluminum. It will significantly impact India's exports. Yes, all 3 correct. All 3, yes. The carbon border adjustment mechanism. Carbon border adjustment mechanism. Carbon border adjustment mechanism ensures that the European Union's climate objectives are not determined by production relocating to common countries with less ambitious policies. Carbon leakage. It creates a carbon tax on imports. Carbon tax on imports like steel, cement, and electricity. The Kuril Islands are subject to a long-standing territorial dispute between China and Japan. Kuril Islands কোনখিনি থাকে long-standing territorial dispute. China আৰু জাপানৰ মাজতে হ'ব নেকি Russia and Japan. China আৰু জাপানত Taiwan আছে Taiwan বোলে Taiwan আছে. Russia and Japan, China and Vietnam. South Korea, North Koreaৰ মাজত নাই। চাইনা এণ্ড ভিয়েটনাম হ'ব এইটো। চাইনা এণ্ড ভিয়েটনাম এইটোৱে হ'ব। চি। Russia and Japan. Kuril Islands, Russia and Japan. Russia and Japan. Russia and Japan. The dispute involves the 4 islands, northern territories in Japan. Japan, 4 islands in the northern territory of Japan, northern, yes. Japan that were seized by the Soviet Union at the end of the World War II. Japan and Russia. The dispute involves 4 islands, northern territories in Japan that were seized by the Soviet Union at the end of World War II. Okay. Which of the following is the largest tributary of the Brahmaputra River? That is Subansiri. A. Subansiri tributary largest. Lohit is known for its force and sediment. Lohit receives force or sediment granite, but by volume and drainage area, Subansiri is the primary tributary. Sediment is about Lohit again. Consider the following is the following regarding the UPSC Union Public Service Commission. The members of UPSC are appointed by the President. Yes, this is correct. The member holds office for a term of 6 years for or until they attain the age of 65 years. However, the Commission's service advice is binding on the government. The Commission's advice is binding on the government. UPSC governmentor হেৰিৰ ওপৰত হ'ব নেকি? Commission's advice is binding on the government. এইটোতো হ'ব পাৰে, হ'ব নাপাৰে। গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট তলতীয়া হ'ব নেকি? গভৰ্ণমেণ্টটো ওপৰত হ'ব ন? All 3 should be correct. All three হ'ব D হ'ব। 1 and 2 only এইটো হয়তো গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ লগত বাইণ্ডিংটো হ'ব নোৱাৰে ন? গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট যিটো বিচাৰে UPSC ইয়াক ফেল কৰাই দিব হ'লে ফেল কৰাই দিব, এনেকুৱা নহয়। So 1 and 2 only. Okay, কিবা এটা কথা জানিলোঁ, ভুল হৈছে কিন্তু কথাষাৰ জানিলোঁ যে 1 and 2 only correct ন? আৰ্টিকেল কিমান আছে এইটো UPSC-টো 316 আছে আৰ্টিকেল। 3 incorrect. The advice of UPSC is advisory and not binding. And advice কৰিব পাৰে কিন্তু not binding. So the government must explain to parliament why it didn't accept the advice. What is bioluminescent waves, often called the sea sparkle, caused by chemical spills from oil tanks? It will have microscopic marine algae that is caused noctiluca scintillans, reflection of moonlight on salt crystals, underwater volcanic activity. Itu নহয় C আৰু D নহয়, bioluminescent waves, chemical spills from oil tanks, microscopic marine algae called itu B হ'ব। B that is B. Yes, B. Noctiluca scintillans. Noctiluca scintillans are dinoflagellate produces light when disturbed by waves or currents. Light ব্যৱহাৰ কৰে ন, কি থাকে microscopic marine algae থাকে ন। While beautiful large blooms can be harmful. বহুত ধুনীয়া, বহুত ডাঙৰ, harmful to marine life as they deplete oxygen. They oxygen to কমাই দিয়ে ন মানে এলগেবিলাকে। এইটো ফৰত the Moitri super thermal power project. Moitri Super Thermal Power Project is a joint venture between India and Moitri, India and Nepal, na Bhutan, na Bangladesh, na Sri Lanka. Moitri Super Thermal Power Project Nepal lot ho no, Bhutan lot ho, Nepal na Bhutan. Moitri itu Bhutan lot ho, B ho, B. Oh ho, Bangladesh hol. Moitri Super Thermal Power, Moitri Super Thermal Power Project Bangladesh lot ase no, India and Bangladesh. 1320 megawatt coal-fired power plant, Moitri Super Thermal Coal Power Plant, located at Rampal in Bangladesh. Rampal, 1320 megawatt coal-fired thermal power in Bangladesh, built with Indian financial assistance and technical cooperation. Okay, now what? Come on. With reference to the temple architecture of the Ahom era, consider following statements. The Nilasol style is characterized by a polygonal base and a hemispherical dome. Polygonal base, Nilasol style, and a hemispherical dome. Nilasol hemispherical dome asile neki. Temple architecture of Ahom era সময়ত Kamakya temple rebuilt by Nilasol to Kamakya, Nilasol bar Kamakya আছে no? Rebuilt by Silarai and Nornaran is the primary example of this style. Silarai বনাইছিলে no? Nornaran বনাইছে by Silarai and Nornaran. Silarai বনাইছিলে নে নাজানো কিন্তু Nornaran বনাইছে সেই Silarai একেলগে আহিছিল যেতিয়া no? Use of terracotta plaques on outer walls was a common feature of later Ahom temples. Ahom temple এনেকৈ লগাই নে নলগাই হ'ব পাৰে. Polygonal base and hemispherical dome. তো নাছিলে নেকি polygonal base পাহৰি গ'লো. সেইটো অল কাৰেক্ট হ'ব নেকি? সেইটো অল কাৰেক্টে হ'ব লাগে দেই. All three should be correct. All three দি দিওঁ দেই, যি হয় হ'ব. Yes, all three correct হ'লে polygonal মানে base আছে আৰু hemispherical dome আছে. And the initial style emerged during the reconstruction of the Kamakya temple in 1560 but Silarai আৰু Nornaran বনাইছে ন, rebuild কৰিছে. মহিৰংগ দানৱে বনাইছিলে ন, সেই হ'ব. It features a unique combination of a traditional shikhara and a dome. Shikhara ase, dome ase. Later Ahom temples like those in Sibsagar frequently use terracotta decorations reflecting influences from the Bengal school of architecture. Terracotta decorations reflecting from the Bengal school of architecture লগত মিলিছে ন, and Sibsagar লগত এনেকৈ আছে আহোমত. Consider the following pairs of ancient ports and their location. Mujiris Malabar coast আছিলে নেকি? এইটো কোনটো? তাম্ৰালিপ্তি Bengal coast. Barigaza Baru Gujarat coast. Which of the following are correct? এইটো দিম নে নিদিম? এইটোতো মই নাজানো দেই. Mujiris Malabar coast, Tamralipti Bengal coast. All three দি দিওঁ, দিয়ে হ'ল কাৰেক্ট হ'ল. নাজানিলেও এনেই দি দিছোঁ, তাতে কাৰেক্ট হ'ল ন. মানে মুজিৰিছটো মালাবাৰ কোষ্ট আছিল যেনিবা, পুৰণি নাম ন, এনচিয়েণ্ট পৰ্ট আছিলে. তাম্ৰালিপ্তি বেংগল কোষ্টত আছিল. বাৰিগাজাটো কি আছিলে? বাৰিগাজা মানে পাৰুখিটো গুজৰাট কোষ্টত. সেইটো মুজিৰিছটো কেৰেলা আছিলে ন. এণ্ড পেপাৰ ট্ৰেড উইথ ৰোম. মুজিৰিছ মানে কেৰেলাৰ যিটো মুজিৰিছ পৰ্ট, পেপাৰ ট্ৰেড হৈছিলে ন কণমৰিচৰ, এনেকৈ জালুক থালুক. Tamralipti was the primary exit point of trade towards Southeast Asia. সাউথ ইষ্ট এছিয়াৰ লগত হেৰি গৈছিলোঁ ন তাম্ৰলিপ্তি বেংগলত যোনটো আছে সাউথ ইষ্ট এছিয়া মানে ইণ্ডোনেছিয়া মালয়েছিয়া ছিংগাপুৰ সেইবিলাক এণ্ড বেৰিগাজা was a major Indo-Roman trade hub on the Nurmada estuary নৰ্মদা কোনে আছিলে নৰ্মদা ৰিভাৰৰ হেৰি ন নৰ্মদাটো মানে ৱেষ্ট ফ্ল'য়িং হয় না ৰিভাৰ য়েছ ৱেষ্ট ফ্ল'য়িং ৰিভাৰ এইটো বাৰিগাজা এইটো যিহেতু গুজৰাটত আছে না এইটো ইণ্ডিয়াৰ পৰা ৰোমলৈকে লৈছিলে ন Which of the following best describes the standard model of particle physics standard model কোনটো হয় A model describing the gravitational interaction between galaxies standard model gravitational interaction between galaxies A theory describing three of the four non-fundamental forces in the universe A mathematical framework for predicting economic market crisis এটাতো নহয় model of particle physics এটাতো নহয় A zoological model for the এটাও নহয় theory describing three or four non-fundamental forces in the universe itu A is correct answer A oh sorry বিটো হৈ থাকিলে so এইটো হোৱা নিচিনা লাগিছিলে ন যিটো পাৰ্টিকল না ষ্টেণ্ডাৰ্ড মডেল অফ পাৰ্টিকল ফিজিক্সৰ theory describing three of the four পাৰ্টিকলৰ মাজত কিছুমান ফাণ্ডামেণ্টেল ফৰ্চেছ থাকে ন ইন দ্য ইউনিভাৰ্ছ এই ফৰ্চেছৰ লগতে বস্তুবিলাক সেইটোৱে হ'ব লাগিছিলে ন The standard model describes the electromagnetic weak and strong nuclear interactions. It classifies all non-elementary particles. Notably, it does not incorporate the fourth fundamental force. Notably, it doesn't incorporate the fourth fundamental force. Gravity doesn't incorporate gravity. Okay, okay. Anyways, hold on. With reference to the Nagarhole National Park. Nagarhole National Park ক'ত আছিলে Nagarhole National Park Jammu and Kashmir আছিলে নেকি Consider the following statements It is part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve নীলগিৰিটো ক'ত আছিলে কৰ্ণাটকা কেৰালা হ'ব Nagarhole National Park Nagarhole কেৰালাৰ আছিলে নেকি The Kabini River separates Nagarhole from Bandipur National Park Bandipur National Park Kerala asile neki It has the highest density of tigers in India to নহয় 1 into কাৰে ক'ব পাৰে 1 into only 2 Nagarhole Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve 1 into highest density of tigers in India tigers আৰু কেনেকৈ তাতে বেছি থাকিব ন Nagarhole এইটো মধ্যপ্ৰদেশতে হাইষ্ট আছে টাইগাৰ ডেঞ্চিটি ইয়াতে ডাইৰেক্ট এ হ'ব দেই এ দি দিওঁ যি হয় দেখা যাব এ হয় Is the correct answer it means it is a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve Kabini River separates Nagarhole from Nagarhole National Park Kabini River is separate from Bandipur National Park statement is not incomplete because Jim Corbett National Park Uttarakhand generally holds the record of the highest tiger density Jim Corbett National Park যেটা উত্তৰাখণ্ডৰ আছে তাতে টাইগাৰৰ কাৰণে सबसे ফেমাস না এটা ডেন্সিটি सबसे হাইয়েষ্ট যেটো Nagarhole has a very high population Nagarhole ক'ত আছিলে তাকে পাহৰি নাজানিলো মই the Gyanvapi case opinion news involves the interpretation of which specific act Gyanvapi case opinion news involves the of which specific act the antiquities Gyanvapi case the antiquities and art treasure of 1972 the places of worship Special Provisions Act 1991, Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Ruins Act, the Religious Endowments Act. এইটোতো worshipৰে হ'ব, the places of worship can be case. এটা হ'ব বি হ'ব বি য়েছ, জ্ঞানৰ কথা না, জ্ঞান কথা মানে সেই ভগৱানক প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰা সেইটোৱে বুজে বেছিভাগ ক্ষেত্ৰত। In 1991 Act prohibits the conversion of any place of worship and provides for the maintenance of its religious character as it existed on 15 August 1947, with the exception of the Ayodhya dispute. What is considered the following regarding genetically modified mustard DMH11, mustard genetically modified DMH11 in India. It was developed by the Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICR) alone. It is designed to be herbicide tolerant to allow better weed management. It is the first transgenic food crop to be cleared for environmental release in India. It is the first transgenic food crop to be cleared for environmental release in India. It is the first transgenic food crop to be cleared for environmental release. এইটো মই বুজি নাপালোঁ ভালকৈ। It is the first transgenic food crop to be cleared for environmental release in India. ইণ্ডিয়াত এইটোৱে প্ৰথম নেকি? খাদ্য হিচাপত দিয়ে প্ৰথম হ'ব লাগে তো all three চি, ইয়াতে বি হ'ল, only 2 are correct বোলে, নেগেটিভ হৈ গ'ল ন। Statement 1 is incorrect because it has 1 to incorrect হৈছে ন, and the Council Agriculture alone নহয়. It was developed by the Center for Genetic Manipulation of Crop Plants, Center for Genetic Manipulation of Crop Plants at Delhi University. Okay, but it doesn't herbicide মানে tolerant হয়, better weed management, আৰু যিটো এইটো genetically modified mustard no, into DMH11. It is the first transgenic food crop to be cleared for environmental release in India. The equilibrium model of education is specially designed for meritorious students from economically weaker sections, providing quality middle and high-level education to settled tribe students in remote areas. এইটোৱে হয়, এইটো ST ট্ৰাইবৰ কাৰণে হয় equilibrium, এইটোৱে হয়, বিটোৱে হ'ব। Promoting vaccination, digitizing rural, এইটো বিটো হয়, এইটো বি য়েছ। এইটো equilibrium মানে আৰু কি, ইমান এটা সুবিধা নোপোৱা হয় না, equilibrium সুবিধা পোৱা নাছিলে, আমাৰ নিচিনা ট্ৰাইব STবিলাকৰ সেনেকৈ সুবিধা নাপায়। Equilibrium model residential schools started in 1997 to 98 to impact the quality education to ST children, ensuring they have access to the same opportunities as the general population. With reference to gravitational waves, because the full statements, they were first predicted by Albert Einstein in the it is a real theory of relativity. Theory of relativity to fascinating. There are ripples in the fabric of space-time caused by massive accelerating objects. The LEGO India project is being set up in the state of Maharashtra. Gravitational wave. কি হতে gravitational wave বলে, wave. They were first predicted by Albert Einstein in his general theory of relativity. There are ripples in the fabric of space-time causes by massive accelerating objects. The Lego India project is being set up in the state of Maharashtra. With reference, no, all this correct, all three over there, all three whole. क्यों all three like man correct way? Kuman nuru de. That is Einstein predicted them in 1916. LIGO India, that is laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory, is coming up in the Hingoli district of Maharashtra to expand the global network. Which Mughal emperors reigned saw the Battle of Saraighat 19 or 1671. Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, that is B. That is B, yes, B. Uh, the battle took place during the reign of Aurangzeb, who sent Rajaram Singh. Rajaram Singh Rajaram Singh of Emperor. তাৰ লগত কোনে আহিছিলে তেগ বাহাদুৰ আছিলে ধুবুৰীত যিটো বনাইছিলে কি কয় গুৰুদ্বাৰ নে কিবা বনাইছিলে তেগ বাহাদুৰ শিখ গুৰু. The Ahoms led by the Lasit Borfukan defeated the Mughal forces. Yes. Question number 50. The Global Risks Report 24-25, which initiates AI-derived misinformation as a top risk, is released by International Monetary Fund. Ito no World Bank no World Economic Forum, United Nations Environment Programs. Global Risks Report 24-25, which identifies AI-derived misinformation top risk. International Monetary, World Bank, World Economic Forum, United Nations Environment Program. Ito no hoy. International Monetary Fund, World Bank. World Bank ya hobo ito. International World Economic Forum. নাজানো এইটো কি ক'ম হাই নিদিওঁ এইটো তো সেইটো World Economic Forum আছিলে World Economic Forum আছিলে. The World Economic Forum releases this report annually before its Davos meeting, highlighting the most pressing threats to the global economy and stability over the next two to 10 years. Next 2 to 10 years. Question number 51. Consider the following statements about the sixth schedule and the inner line permit. Oh my god. Inner line permit is an official travel document issued by the government of India to allow inward travel of an Indian citizen into a protected area of a limited period. For a limited period, Assam is currently the only state in the northeast that has the sixth schedule, but not the ILP system. Oh, Nagaland to ILP নাই. ওইটো ইনকাৰেক্ট হ'ব দেই. ছিক্স শ্বেডিউল এৰিয়া মিজোৰামত ILP আছে. নাগালেণ্ডত ILP আছে নে নাই নেকি? নাই. So it is incorrect. Only one is correct. Only one. That is A. Wow. CO correct. Assam only incorrect. The bosi bonadi. Okay. See no hope. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur have ILP. Assam has 6 scheduled areas. BTC, KAAC, DHIC, but doesn't have a state-wide ILP system. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur, ILPSM. Nagaland ILPSM, Mizoram Manipur. Okay. নাজানো দেই পাহৰি থাকিলোঁ অৰুণাচলতে Okay, both are correct. The term double spend is a problem primarily associated with double spend, fiscal deficit in the national budget. Double spend no, the digital currencies and blockchain. Digital double spend is a problem primarily associated with double taxation, evidence agreements, mismanagement of MC and Raga funds, digital currencies and blockchain. COBO. Belik dokon ta negative right hele. To double currencies and blockchain, double currency or blockchain, double spend. Double spending is a potential flaw in a digital cash scheme where the same single digit token can be spent more than once. Blockchain solves this through a centralized consensus mechanism. Okay, the digital currencies and blockchain double spend too. A single digital token can be spent more than once. Blockchain solves this problem through a decentralized consensus mechanism. With reference to Buddhism, what does the term Upasaka refer to? A monk who has attained nirvana. Upasok. A lay follower of Buddhism. Yes, sacred Buddhist text on the heart of the Buddhist. This is B. B, 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 B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Upasaka male and upashika female. Upasaka and Upashika are followers of Buddhism who are not monks or nuns but take certain vows and support the monastic community. The Askari and Sipahijala. The Asgari and Sipahijala wildlife sanctuaries are located in which state? Asgari and Sipahijala wildlife sanctuary, Tripura, Manipur, Assam, Mizoram. Asgari and Sipahijala, Manipur to no to Manipur, Assam to nai, Mizoram, Sipahijala had to Tripura hobo A to hoboi. A hoboi. Oh my god, yes, A. Sipahijala and Asgari. Sipahijala Wildlife Sanctuary is a famous sanctuary and zoo in Tripura known for its clouded leopard, Sipahijala, Tripura, clouded leopard enclosures and primate diversity. Which of the following constitutional provisions empowers the president to promulgate ordinances? President ordinance কৰিব কাৰণে কোনটো 72 আছিলে নেকি 123 143 এইটো constitutional provisions empowers the president to promulgate ordinances. Article 72 প্ৰেচিডেণ্টৰ লগত ৰিলেটেড হয়তো তো এ হ'ব লাগে দেই এ নহ'লে চি হ'ব বাট মই এটো দি দিওঁ চি হয় হ'ব বি হে আছিলে 123 প্ৰেচিডেণ্টৰ promulgate ordinance promulgate কৰিব পাৰে Article 123 to wrong hole. Article 123 gives the president power to legislate when parliament is not in session. Article 213 Article 200 to parliament power to legislate when parliament is not in session. So nothing. Article 213 gives similar powers to the governor of a state. 213 similar powers to the governor of a state. 56. The Haldighati of Assam is a term often used to describe which historical site? Haldighati. Haldighati, Assam is term described with historical site. Saraighat, Itakholi, Potrughat, Alaboi. Haldighati Alaboi লগত জড়িত হয়. Yes. Alaboi run. Haldighatiটো Itakholi, Potrughat. Tam used to describe with historical site. Potrughat or Haldighati. I don't know. Alaboi D 56D. কেনেকৈ বা লিংক হ'ল টি টু নাজানো বাছ দি দিছোঁ কাৰেক্ট হৈ গ'ল দ্য বেটল অফ আলাবৈ 1669 বেটল অফ আলাবৈ 1669 হৈছিলে ইজ অফেন ৰিপৰ্ট টু এছ দ্য হালদিঘাটি অফ আছাম আলাবৈৰ 1669 আলাবৈৰ বেটল হৈছিলে ন টু এছ দ্য হালদিঘাটি অফ আছাম হালদিঘাটিটো চেণ্ট্ৰেলৰ আছিলে ন কিবা ইব্ৰাহিম লোধি কিবা আছিলে নেকি বাবৰ আৰু ইব্ৰাহিম লোধি নহয় হুমায়ুন আছিলে নেকি due to the intense combat and the significant loss of 1,000 Ahom soldiers in a single day against the Mughals. Alabir Juddhot 10,000 Ahom hoino morisile 1669 sonot. Mughal logot juji kine no. 57 in the context of blue economy, what is polyculture and aquaculture? Blue economy, polyculture, aquaculture, growing only one species of polyculture মানে মেলা ধৰণৰ species হ'ব poly মানে মেলা ন বহুত species of fish in a pond for maximum yield only one species no growing multiple species of together occupy different ecological niches cultivating fish and vegetables it streams using chemical fertilizers to increase it নহয় that's a blue economy that is polyculture that is growing multiple species of fish together that occupy different ecological niches cultivating fish and vegetables in the same water itu hobo neki aquaponics polyculture itu hobo c b he hol tut sal multiple fishes to hoy to fish and together occupy different to okay polyculture is like the composite fish culture in India involves stocking different fish katla rohu mrigal at the same pond to utilize all the available food sources at different depths. Yes. 58 the Golden Heights is a region located between Golan Heights to Iran and Iraq, Israel and Syria, Saudi Arabia and Yemen, Turkey and Greece. Golan Heights to Golan Heights is Arabian and Yemen, Turkey and Greece. To nazano to be hoy Syria and Israel and Syria. Golan Heights to Israel and Syria okay Israel to ডাঙৰ হয় আগতে Syria ডাঙৰ আছিল এতিয়া Israel ডাঙৰ হৈছে Syria to সৰু খানা হৈ গৈছে the Golan Heights is a rocky plateau in southwestern Syria that was occupied and collectively annexed by Israel during the 1967-60 war with reference to the Irrawaddy dolphin consider the following. It is found in coastal areas in South and Southeast Asia and in three rivers, the Irrawaddy, the Mahakam and the Mekong. Dolphin consider found Southeast Asia and the three rivers, the Irrawaddy, the Mahakam and the Mekong. In India, it is primarily found in the Silka Lake. Irrawaddy dolphin Silka Lake got panic. Irrawaddy dolphin is to go Irrawaddy to 1-2 the IUCN status is endangered. Okay, 1 and 3. 1 and 3 hobo correct. How many students are only two. Only two. Only two B. It is C only three. All of them are correct. All of them are correct. Irabati Tulpinto. Orissa Silka Lekotopai. Chile Orissa has the highest single lagoon population of these dolphins in the world. They are distinct in for their bulging foreheads and a lack of prominent beak. Mm-mm. Project Kusha. Project Kusha, recently mentioned in the context of Indian defense, is a mission to develop an indigenous long-range surface-to-air system. A project to build nuclear-powered submarines as a surveillance system for the Indo-China border, a scheme for providing high-altitude clothing to soldiers. এইটোৱে কাৰেক্ট হ'ব লাগে project কোচা mission to a project mission to develop an indigenous a project to build nuclear powered submarines surveillance mission to the Indo-China B হ'ব B incorrect হৈ গ'ল ন মই projectটো ধৰি কেনে দিলোঁ a mission to develop an indigenous long range surface to air missile that is systematic project kusha. Okay, Raskusa Embassy is a project to develop its on long-range air defense system similar to the S-400 Iron Dome, capable of intercepting aircraft missiles and drones at ranges up to 350 kilometers. With reference to capital adequacy ratio considered from statements. It is the ratio of a bank's capital in relation to its high risk-weighted assets and current liabilities. It is decided by central banks to prevent commercial banks from taking excess leverage and becoming insolvent. Capital adequacy ratio. It is the ratio is capital in relation to its risk-weighted assets and current liabilities. It is decided by central banks to prevent commercial banks from taking excess leverage and becoming insolvent. A high capital adequacy ratio indicates that a bank is better equipped to protect depositors' funds. Is the ratio of the bank's capital in relation to high risk? Okay. These all are correct. All three. Yes, all three are correct. Just select capital adequacy ratio, also known as capital to risk weighted risk weighted assets ratio, ensures banks have a cushion to absorb a reasonable amount of losses under Basel III norms. Banks are required to maintain a specific CAR to ensure global financial stability. 62. The Lakpati Baidu scheme launched by the government of Assam primarily aims to life insurance develop 400 self-help groups, 4 lakh women self-help groups to individuals with an annual 1 lakh annual income of 1 lakh. It would be only B. Yes, B is the correct answer. The scheme is part of the Lakpati Baidu DD, the central Lakpati DD, initiated but localized for Assam. It focuses on diversifying the income sources of self-help group members through various livelihood interventions to ensure they earn at least 1 lakh per year. 63. Consider the following statements regarding the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development numbered. It was established on the recommendations of the B. Sivaraman Committee. Yes, number 2 B. Sivaraman Committee is the recommendation. It provides direct loans to individual for purchasing tractors and machines. It correct over there. It manages the Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. It means rural infrastructure development. Infrastructure মানে খেতিৰ লগত জড়িত, কিন্তু infrastructure লগত infrastructure transport infrastructure লগত rural development index কিটো manages the rural infrastructure development fund. হ'ব পাৰে 1 and 2 মাত্ৰ কাৰেক্ট হ'ব নে 3D হ'ব? নাম্বাৰটো 3 হ'ব দে, all 3D. B হে হ'ল 1 and 3 only. Whereas direct loans to individual farmers for purchasing tractors and machinery, এইটো নহয়, ডাইৰেক্টলি নিদিয়ে। B হে কাৰেক্ট হ'ল ন? তাৰ মানে হ'ল it was established on the recommendation of B. Sivaraman committee হৈছিলে, নাবাৰটো establish কৰিছে এইটো কমিটিৰ ৰিকমেণ্ডেশ্যনত, আৰু it manages the rural infrastructure development fund. Because NABARD is an apex refinance institution, it doesn't provide direct loans to individuals but refinances banks, RRBs. NABARD ডাঙৰ এটা institution না, directly নিদিয়ে, refinances banks, RRBs, corporates, etc. that lend to farmers. সেইবিলাকেহে মানে ডাইৰেক্ট হেৰিটো দিয়ে, লোনটো। নাবাৰ্ডে ডাইৰেক্ট নিদিয়ে। So what does the Laffer curve represent in economics? Laffer curve, এইটোতো পাইছোঁ, the relationship between inflation and unemployment, the relationship between tax rates and the amount of tax revenue collected by governments. Laffer curve, the distribution of income inequality in a population. Distribution of income inequality in a population. The relationship between economic growth and environmental degradation. Between economic growth and environmental, I don't know about the relation between inflation and unemployment. It hobo collected by governments and tax rates. Itu A hobo A. Sorry, B hoi gol. Iman negative hoise no. To Laffer curve, to relationship between tax rate and amount of tax revenue collected by governments. Tax rate and tax revenue collected by government, or Laffer curve to represent economics. The Laffer curve suggests that as tax rates increase from zero, tax revenue increases, but beyond tax rate যেতিয়া বাঢ়ে তেতিয়া tax revenue বাঢ়ে বোলে 0 পৰা মানে, but beyond a certain point, optimal rate further increases in tax rates actually decrease revenue because they discourage work and investment. Okay. With reference to the mission Shakti of the Ministry of Women and Child Development Mission Shakti, that is Sambal, focused on safety and security of women. Samartha focused on empowerment of women. Both of them are correct. C. Sambalta whole safety, security women, and Samartha focused on empowerment of women. That is Sambal includes components like one-stop center, women helpline, and Beti Basa Beti Purhao. Sambal, and Samartha includes Ujjala, Swadhar Greh, and PMMPY. Okay, Sambal mane Beti Basa Beti Purhao, one-stop center, women helpline, and Samartha Ujjala, Swadhar Greh, and PMMPY. The purchasing power parity (PPP) exchange rate is calculated by purchasing power parity, comparing the prices of standard basket of goods in different countries, calculating the total gold reserves held by central banks, monitoring the daily fluctuations in the stock market, evaluating the interest of rates, differentiates between two nations. Purchasing power parity. Compare the prices of standard basket of goods between countries. And gold. Monitoring during the daily fluctuations in evaluating the A is correct answer. Yes, A is the correct answer. Purchasing power parity is an economic theory that allows the comparison of purchasing power of various world currencies to each other. It uses the law of one price, where in an efficient market, identical goods must have only one price. Identical goods must have only one price. 67. In the context of the Digital India Initiative, Fasini is digital digital India Initiative Fasini মানে কি হৈছে cyber security firewall for government websites and AI-led language translation or platform to enable easy access to the internet in Indian languages. এইটো হ'ব B B B B B B B B B B B B B come on. Yes, B is the correct answer. Digital India Fasini is India's AI-led language translation platform. It aims to transcend language barriers by providing real-time translation for diverse Indian languages, aiding digital inclusion. 68. Consider the following regarding inflation-indexed bonds. Inflation-indexed bonds. They provide returns that are adjusted for inflation. They protect both the principal and the interest payments from inflation. They are usually linked to the wholesale price index. Wholesale price index লগত link আছে নেকি এইটো inflation indexed bonds. Inflation indexed bonds. They provide returns. They provide returns that are adjusted for inflation. Inflation indexed bonds. They provide returns that are adjusted for inflation. Yes. Inflation indexed bonds. Yes, they protect both the principal and the interest payments from inflation. Yes, they are usually linked to the wholesale price index. Yes, all of these are correct. All three C. Only two are correct in here, so it's a negative equal. Because statement 1 and 2 are correct. They provide, this is inflation indexed bonds are, and they provide returns that are adjusted for inflation. They protect both the principal and the interest payments from inflation. Okay. 3 to incorrect. 3 to incorrect. They provide wholesale link 9. So what and 2 are correct in here. Okay. 69. Sankalp scheme supported by the World Bank is aimed to eradicating tuberculosis by 2025, strengthening institutional mechanisms for skill development, providing clean cooking gas BPL families, improving the quality of secondary education in tribal areas. No, tribal areas secondary education system it no, educating tuberculosis of way to A hobo. B here strengthening institutional mechanisms for skill development. Strengthening institutional mechanism for skill development to be Sankalp skill acquisition. Yes, many Sankalp skill no. Skill acquisition and knowledge awareness for livelihood promotion focuses on decentralized planning and quality assurance in the skill development landscape. Which of the following is the primary objective of open market operations conducted by the RBI? Open market operations to regulate the flow of foreign direct investment. Open market operations to influence the liquidity conditions in the economy, to print new currency notes. Open market operation. To manage the government's fiscal deficit directly. No. To influence the liquidity conditions in the economy. Open market operations to regulate the flow of foreign direct investment. Open market operations. Open market operation. Open market operation. It to be a hobo. B. Yes, B. Open market operation involves the buying and selling of government securities by the RBI. When the RBI buys securities, it infuses liquidity into the market. When it sells, it absorbs excess liquidity. 71. Project Jarwar. Project Jarwar recently in the news refers to an indigenous light tank for Zorawar, an indigenous light tank for high altitude deployment by the Indian Army. I don't know. A naval exercise between India and Central Asian countries. A reforestation project in the Thar Desert. A mission to rescue Indian citizens from conflict zones. To A হ'ব লাগে A. Yes, A to correct হ'ল. Project Zorawar aims to develop an indigenous indigenous light tank designed especially for the varied terrain of the Himalayas to counter challenges at the line of actual control. LSC. LSC ডিল কৰিবৰ কাৰণে প্ৰজেক্ট যাব এইটো লাইট ৱেইট মানে টেংক হেৰি কৰিছিলে মানে LSC with reference to the T-Board of India, consider the following. It is a statutory body recommended by the means Parliament. A statutory body under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. T-Board of India. Its headquarters is located in Kolkata. It is the power to control the cultivation and export of tea. It is the power to control the cultivation and export of T-Board of Assam. T-Board of India. Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It is headquartered in Kolkata. All three correct হ'ব লাগে দেই all three C হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে নাই B হে দুটাহে হয় correct so এইটো নিগেটিভ হৈ গ'ল ইয়াতে 2 and 3 correct এইটো statutory body নহয় under Ministry of Agriculture নহয় T-Board is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry Commerce and Industry হে আছিলে তাকে নাজানো না not agriculture Commerce and Industry 73. The global minimum tax of 15% was proposed by the OECD to target minimum tax OECD of 15% was proposed. Carbon emissions from shipping. Base erosion and profit shifting by large multinational enterprises. Large multinational enterprises. BEPS, global erosion and profit shifting. Global minimum tax of 15% was proposed by carbon emissions from shipping and illicit trade in wildlife. Global minimum tax 15%. To guess high income individuals living in tax havens. Global minimum tax 15%. Carbon emissions. Multinational enterprises. It would be a BB. Yes, B. Part of that pillar to solution the 15% global minimum tax ensures that large multinational enterprises pay a minimum level of tax regardless of where they are headquartered or operate, discouraging the use of tax havens. In the context of zero budget natural farming, zero budget natural farming, the term Jivamrita refers to zero budget natural farming. Jivamrita refers to a fermented microbial culture used as a soil incubalant, a method of rainwater harvesting, a traditional variety of pest-resistant seeds. Zero budget natural farming, pest-resistant natural farming. A coating for urea to prevent leaching. A fermented microbial culture used as a soil including fermented microbial culture. Net farming used as a soil in common. Sibamrita. Oh, it have a. That is a. Yes, a. A fermented microbial culture used as a soil in common. Sibamrita is a mixture of fresh cow dung, yeast, cow urine, jaggery, that is pulse flour, and a handful of undisturbed soil. It is used to promote the activity of microorganisms and earthworms in the soil. Oh, Jivamrita is a mixture of fresh cow dung, notun, gobor, yeast, cow urine, puroni, gurur jaggery মানে কিতে jaggery মানে গুড় মিঠাই নেকি গুড় মিঠাই কৈছিলে বোধহয় ন jaggeryটো পালছ ফ্ল'ৰ মানে যিকোনো পালছ মানে হেৰি দালি থালি এইবিলাকৰ এনেকুৱা ন মানে গুড়া আটা গুড়া ফ্ল'ৰ আৰু ন আটা গুড়া and a handful of undisturbed soil মাটি মানে ফ্ৰী মাটি microorganisms and earthworms পোকাবিলাক জমা লাগে আৰু পিছত কিছু এইবিলাক The Niti Aayog was established to replace the Planning Commission, which of the following is the chairperson of Niti Aayog? That is Prime Minister. That is she. Yes, she is. The Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman Niti Aayog. That is Niti Aayog functions as a think tank, providing both directional and policy inputs. Carbon farming is a concept that includes burning crop inside residue to create biochar. Carbon farming using agricultural practices that sequester carbon in the soil and vegetation, growing only those crops that release oxygen at night. Creating artificial forests using genetically modified trees. Carbon farming, burning crop residues to create biochar. Itte hobo baki kita to nimile. Aro using agricultural practices that sequester carbon in the soil and vegetation. Burning crop residue to create biochar. It B hobo B. Yes, B. Carbon farming focuses on removing CO2, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing it in the soil's organic matter through practices like no-till farming. Hal nabake royar kina cover cropping and agroforestry. Cover kori de mane roya bela cover kori de thaki de agroforestry aru jongolot kheti kore henegar ki. Using agricultural practices that sequester carbon in the soil and vegetation. The Swami invest investment fund is really related to Swami investment. Swami investment fund is related to providing capital to distressed MSMEs, completing stalled brownfield residential projects, funding startups in the space sector, improving the infrastructure of government schools, providing stalled brownfield residential projects, lending capital to distressed MSMEs. এইটোৱে হ'ব, এইটো A হ'ব, এইটো B হ'ল completing stalled brownfield residential projects B. Swami. The special video that is completing stalled brownfield residential projects. The special window for completion of affordable and mid-income housing, Swami, is a government-backed fund managed by SBI Cap Ventures to provide last-mile funding for stalled housing projects. With reference to sovereign gold bonds. With reference to sovereign gold bonds, consider the following. They are issued by the RBI on behalf of the Government of India. The interest earned on these bonds is completely tax-free. They can be used as collateral for loans. The sovereign gold bonds itu অলপ টান আছে, আগতে পাইছিলোঁ, এইটো টাৰ্মছটো বেলেগ আছিলে. They are issued by the RBI on behalf of the Government of India. হ'ব পাৰে. The interest earned on these bonds is completely tax-free. Yes. They can be used as a collateral for loans. All are correct. All are correct. D. 1 and 3 completely tax-free নহয়. Full হৈ থাকিলে ন? 1 and 3 are correct. The sovereign gold bonds are issued by the RBI on behalf of government, and they can be used as a collateral for loans. But interest on these bonds is not tax-free. Only capital gains. Tax is exempted on redemption for individuals. The interest income is taxable as per the taxable provisions of the income tax act. Okay. Mission Karma Yogi is a national program aims at providing yoga training, capacity building, and civil services reform, skill development for the youth in the improving the efficiency of the Indian railway. That is Karma Yogi to capacity building and civil services. Karma Yogi, skill development for the in border areas. Itu capacity building and civil services reform. Karma Yogi. Itu have a B. Yes, B. B is the correct answer. It is the national program for civil services capacity building, designed to overhaul the Indian bureaucracy to make it more creative, proactive, and technology enabled. The Gini coefficient is a measure used to determine the rate of inflation in a country, income or wealth inequality within a nation, the level of corruption in public offices, the ecological footprint of a city, the rate of inflation in a country, Gini coefficient, income or wealth inequality in a nation, the level of corruption in public offices, the ecological footprint of a city. Gini coefficient to D over there. To be high income or wealth inequality. Gini coefficient mane hol income or wealth inequality hoy na. Income or wealth inequality in within a nation. Income or wealth inequality. Gini coefficient. The Gini coefficient ranges from 0 perfect equality to 1 perfect inequality. A higher coefficient indicates greater inequality. With reference to the Battle of Alabwe 1669, consider following statements. Battle of Alabwe to হৈছিলে ন Battle of Itakuli বুলি কৈছিলে না Itakuli Battle of Itakuli of Assam. It was fought between the Ahom forces led by Lasit Borphukon 1616 yes, and the Mughal forces led by Mughal forces লগত হৈছিলে কিন্তু ৰাম সিংহৰ লগত হোৱা নাছিলে এইটো মোৰ অনুমান it took place on the Alawai Hills near Tadara in present-day Kamrup district. The Ahoms suffered a heavy defeat in this battle. 10,000 soldiers. Yes, this is correct. Ram Singhor logot hoa nasile kintu battle of Alawai to. Okay, 2 and 3 are correct only. Only 2 are correct. B. All 3 were correct. Ram Singhor logot hoisile. Okay, battle of Alawai last Barkhun and Ram Singhor 1616 hoisile. Okay. Incorrect with Hegala. The Bordicilla phenomenon in Assam is meteorologically associated with post-monsoon, pre-monsoon, thunderstorms and squalls. It will be P is the correct answer. Bordicilla or nor'westers. Bordicilla nor'westers occurs in the spring, April or May month. It is characterized by violent winds and heavy rain, yes, signal in the arrival of the Assamese New Year, Bohag Bihu. Consider the following pairs of CGI-tagged products. The states Gamusa, Assam, Araku Valley, Arabica Coffee, Andhra Pradesh, Indo-Mismi Textiles, Arunachal, itu correct hoy. Araku Valley, Arabica Coffee, Andhra Pradesh hoy na nohoy. Coffee to Karnataka. Araku Valley. হ'ব পাৰে all of the correct গোটেইকেইটাই হ'ব ডি ধৰি লৈছোঁ ডি কাৰেক্ট হ'ল ন অ'কে Araku Valley coffee Arabica coffee Andhra Pradesh Gamsa of Assam received GI tag in 2022. Araku coffee and Indo-Mismi textiles are also protected geographical indications from their respective states. Okay. In the context of the ancient Indian literature, the Kalika Purana is significant because it provides the first detailed description of the origin of the Ahom dynasty. Kalika Purana Ahom dynasty বিষয়ে আছে নেকি হ'ব পাৰে দেই Kalika Purana হ'ব পাৰে দেই It is one of the 18 Upapuranas and Kalika Purana, Upapuranas, and focused on the worship of goddess Kamika. Kalika Purana the goddess Kamika. Kali I don't know. It was written during the reign of King Bhaskara Varmana. Kalika Purana It contains the laws and regulations for the Satra institutions. সত্ৰবিলাকৰ সময়ত ভাস্কৰ বৰ্মনৰ সত্ৰ ইনষ্টিটিউচনৰ ওপৰত laws and regulations for the Satra institutions. Only 1 and C হ'ব পাৰে এতে সাৰা single question এতে মোৰ Kalikapur ni Kamaikha Devi Mazab. The only B, you know, the only more negative is good. Negative transition. The Kalikapurana approx 10th to 11th century. 10th century and 11th century লিখিছিলে ন it was written ভাস্কৰ বৰ্মনৰ সময়ত ভাস্কৰ বৰ্মনটো 7th century তে আছিলে বোধহয় it was is a work from the Kamrupa region. It is a key text for the Sakto sect I mean Hukti Puja, that is Kamakya, describing the geography and the rituals of ancient Kamrupa and the Kamrupa and the importance of the Kamakya shrine. বুজি নাপালো এটা কি কৈছে correct এটা বুজি নাপাওঁ বস্তুখিনি okay. What is the James Webb Space Telescope or primary mission? To detect gravitational waves from merging black holes, to observe the first light from the universe's earliest stars and galaxies is in infrared, to map the surface of Mars for future human colonization, to search for liquid water on the moon's surface pole, to detect gravitational waves from merging, to observe the first light from the S and B from the universe's earliest stars and galaxies in infrared. This is B. Okay. Like the Hubble, which views mostly visible lights. This is what James Webb Space Telescope is, an infrared telescope. This allows it to peer through dust clouds to see the very first stars formed after the Big Bang. Okay. Infrared মানে telescope হয় এইটো James Webb Space Telescope to Hubble to মানে most visible light বিলাকহে দেখা পায় with reference to the Hargila Army Kostapo estimates. It is an all-female grassroots conservation group in Assam. Yes. It is dedicated to protecting the greater Egerton stock. Yes. It was founded by Purnima Devi Burman, who won the United Nations Champions of the Art. Yes, all three are correct. C. Yes. The movement transformed the perception of the Hargila from a bad omen bird to a cultural icon. No, bad omen bird buri koisile Hargila. No, cultural icon like koisile transform koisile no. Significant increasing its population in the Kamrup district. Purnima Devi Burman, yes. The ESRS mobile app is an initiative related to online registration for the NRC. Marketing products made by women self-help groups. Tracking the migration of Siberian cranes. Filing electronic complaints against government corruption. Filing electronic complaints against government corruption. Online registration for the NRC by the women's self-help groups. Tracking the action of Siberian ASRS. It is even marketing products made by women groups. Marketing products. ভালকৈ নাচালোঁ মই মানে চেল্ফ হেল্প গ্ৰুপবিলাকে যিবিলাক বনায় সেইবিলাক মানে বিক্ৰী কৰিব পাৰে ন ট্ৰেক কৰিব পাৰে বিক্ৰী কৰিব পাৰে মাৰ্কেটিং প্ৰডাক্টছ মেড বাই women self-help groups. Yes. ASRS. Launched by the Ministry of Rural Development, ASRS provides a platform for self-help group members to sell their handloom and handicraft products directly to consumers. Yes. Which of the following is primary pollutants কোনবিলাক হয় primary pollutant, ground level ozone to নাজানো দে pollutant to হয় ground level to হ'ব পাৰে sulfur dioxide particulate matter primary pollutant 2.5 to ground level ozone pollutant হয় sulfur dioxide all of these are sulfur dioxide কিহৰ পৰা হয় ground level ozone to ozone primary pollutant sulfur dioxide already দিছো যি হয় হোক T at a B over 2 and 3 metro okay incorrect hole 2 and 3 only to primary pollutant sulfur dioxide or particulate matter PM 2.5 or ground level ozone to secondary pollutant hobo primary pollutants are emitted directly from a source CO2 that is SO2 gitu sulfur dioxide SO2 from factories particulate matter from vehicles ground level ozone is a secondary pollutant because it is formed by chemical reactions between other pollutants or chemical reactions between other pollutants in the presence of sunlight secondary in the administration of Borburua, the chief of the military forces, the head of the executive and judiciary, excluding the territories of the Kohais, the governor of Lower Assam, Borburua and Borfukon, station at Guwahati, station, the priest in charge of royal rituals. The governor of Lower Assam station at Guwahati and the head of the executive and judiciary. The head of the executive and judiciary, excluding the territories of the Kohais, the chief of the military forces. The chief of the military forces, the head of the executive judiciary, the lower station at Guwahati to be Bahari Tiklude, Borburua to the chief of the military forces. The chief of the military forces, Borburua, the head of the executive and judiciary, excluding the territories of the Kohais. It to have a B over B, yes, B. And Boroboro was a position created by Pratap Singh. It was the chief executive officer and administrator of the region east of Kulyavar Pratap Singh was a Pratap Singh Akar Putra Asle Khora man Sukhampa Asle Sukhampa Aru ki koi Harry Mazat ki isle Mazali Treaty Asle na was not under the direct control of the three Kohais. 90 Montreal Protocol is an international treaty designed to protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of that is ODS mane ozone depleting mane area no ite B hobo that is Montreal Protocol ozone law test B yes B signed in 1987 Montreal Protocol 1987. It is considered the most successful environmental treaty, successfully phasing out chlorofluorocarbons and helping the ozone layer. Chlorofluorocarbons successfully passing out chlorofluorocarbons and helping the ozone layer recover. a treaty successfully passing out as chlorofluorocarbons and helping the ozone layer to recover. Consider the following regarding the Umananda temple. It is located on the Peacock Island in the middle of the Brahmaputra Peacock Island boli koi mandir. It was built by the Ahom king Godadhar Singha. Yes, it is dedicated to goddess Durga. To Durga karne nohoi Shiva asile that one temple. So 1 and 2 are correct. That is 1 and 2 A. A hoy to no. A hoy. Yes, A is the correct answer in here. One is dedicated to Lord Shiva as being under name of the Parvati, Uma being the name another name of Parvati, and Ananda meaning happiness. Umananda. Carbon neutrality refers to a state where no carbon dioxide is emitted by an industry. Carbon neutrality. All carbon emissions are offset by an equivalent amount of carbon removal. Uh, Only renewable energy is used for transportation. Uh, Carbon neutrality. Carbon emissions are kept below the levels. Ito don't know. Ito carbon neutrality refers to a state of no carbon dioxide and in industry. Ito pare. Ito the all carbon emissions are offset by an equivalent amount of carbon removal. B hobo. Ito B hobo. Yes, B hobo. B hobo correct answer. Net zero, it doesn't mean zero emissions. Zero emission to hobo no. But rather that any CO2 released into the atmosphere is balanced by an equal amount being removed through forests, carbon capture, etc. Yes. মানে নিউট্ৰেল কৰা মানে তো বস্তুটো মিলাই লোৱা ন কিবা যে হৈছে সেইটো মানে মেনেজ কৰি লোৱা মানে বেলেঞ্চত আনা দ্য ধৰ্মশাস্ত্ৰ টাৰ্ম বাৰ্তা refers to science and politics and governance. Dharmashastra, that is science and politics and government. No, science and agriculture, cattle rearing, rituals related to ancestor. Dharmashastra, ancestor worship of the art of warfare. Dharmashastra, Barta, oh, science and politics of government, rituals related to ancestor worship, the art of warfare. To Barta, ধর্মশাস্ত্র মানে তো rituals. To see over there, be all science and agriculture, the cattle rearing and trade. Okay, and in ancient Indian thought, Barta was one of the 4 branches of knowledge. Barta, science of agriculture, cattle rearing and trade. Agriculture, cattle rearing and trade. 4 branches of knowledge focusing on the economy and livelihood, agriculture and commerce. Then 94 with reference to nuclear reactors. What is the role of a moderator? Nuclear reactor, what is the role of moderator? To speed up the neutrons, to increase the rate of fission, to speed up the neutrons, to slow down the neutrons, to sustain a chain reaction, to operate to absorb water neutrons, to shut down the reactor, moderator, to cool the reactor core, to prevent a meltdown, to cool the reactor, to prevent a meltdown. That is B. B hobo lage de. Yes, B. The correct answer. Explanation: high-speed neutrons are less likely to cause fission. High-speed less likely to cause fission in ultra uranium 235. Uranium 230. A moderator like heavy water or গ্ৰেফাইট হেভি ৱাটাৰ নহ'লে বা মডাৰেটৰ হিচাপে হেভি ৱাটাৰ নাইবা গ্ৰেফাইট ইউজ কৰে slows them down so they can be captured by the fuel sustaining the reaction. Okay. 95 the Nyaya-Savera scheme is related to Nyaya-Savera scheme is related to free coaching for students belonging to minority communities. Rehabilitation of manual scavengers here মানে বেক পেপাৰ নে কি পিক পেপাৰ মানে যে জাবৰ জোঁথৰ যে হেৰি কৰে ন কৰে সেইবিলাকক Nyaya-Savera solar highlighting for rural promoting startups in the textile free coaching for students belonging to minority rehabilitation of manual scavengers এইটোৱে হ'ব বি হ'ব লাগে দেই to students belonging to minority community free coaching দিয়ে Nyaya-Savera. This is wrong. Wrong বেছি হৈছে মোৰ সমান explanation. It is a scheme by the Ministry of Minority Affairs to assist students from minority communities to prepare for competitive examinations. Okay. And 96 which of the following rivers flows through the Salin Valley National Park in Kerala? Salin Valley National Park, which river flows through Salin Valley National Park? Periyar, Kunti Puja, Pamba, and Bharat Puja. I don't know. Kunti Puja, Bharat Puja. I don't know. Salin Valley National Park. That is Kunti Puja. Kunti Puja river flows through the river Salin Valley National Park. Okay. The Kunti Puja river, perennial river, flows through the entire length of the park. Salin Valley is famous for the lion-tailed macaque. In the context of the Indian judiciary, the curative petition can be filed. Before a review petition is filed. Curative petition can be filed before a review petition is filed. After the dismissal of a redressal petition, only in civil cases involving property disputes by the President to seek advice from the Supreme Court. In the context of Indian judiciary, the curative petition can be filed. Before a review petition is filed. After the dismissal of a review petition, only in civil cases involving property disputes by the President to seek advice from the Supreme Court. Curative petition by the President to seek advice from the Supreme Court. Curative petition before a review petition is filed. After dismissal of a review petition. It to be of B. Yes, B. Curative petition is filed after the dismissal of a review petition. Established in the Rupa Asaghura versus Asaghura case 2002, a curative petition is the final legal resort after a review petition has been recited, meant to prevent abuse of process or gross miscarriage of justice. Yes, the curative petition miscarriage of justice or garne or the mane ki kobo tak prevent korbo garne. The Musi River, recently in news due to rejuvenation projects, is a tributary of Musi, that is Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Tungabhadra. I don't know. Musi River, the Krishna River tributary of Musi River, Krishna River. Okay. The Musi flows through Hyderabad and Hyderabad, Telangana, Hyderabad. Mussoorie flows through Hyderabad and is a major tributary of the Krishna River. And then with reference to graphene consists the following. What is graphene? It is a one atom thick layer of carbon atoms arranged in a hexagonal lattice. It is an excellent conductor of heat and electricity. Graphene or heavy water ব্যবহার করে না nuclear moderate recipe. Excellent conductor of heat and electricity. It is excellent conductor heat and electricity. Okay. It is completely opaque to light. Graphene. It is a one atom thick layer of carbon atoms arranged in a hexagonal lattice. Yes, do all three. Only two correct way. Two first two negative full. Okay, let's check. 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 are correct means atom thick layer carbon arranged in a completely opaque. It opaque no hoy. It is completely opaque to light. It no hoy. So okay, this is graphene is remarkably transparent. Both transparent opaque no hoy. Absorbing only about 2.3% of visible light despite its strength. Absorbing only 2.3% of visible light despite its strength. So this is the last 100th number question. The Declaration of Ethics for AI 2425 emphasizes human oversight. This means ethics for AI. Human oversight. This means AI should be allowed to make all decisions without interference. I don't know how. A human must always be able to intervene or override an AI's decision. AI emphasizes human oversight. This means okay. AI should only be developed by humans, not by other AI. Oh, sorry. Human must be always to intervene within AI's decision. Governments should own all AI source. এইটো বিয়ে হ'ব মই এইটো বিয়ে দিলোহেঁতেন যদিও দেখা পাইছোঁ কুৱেশ্যনটো কাৰণ বস্তুটো মিনিংটো মই ইভালুৱেট কৰি আছিলোঁ ন এক্সামিন কৰি আছিলোঁ so human oversight or human in the loop is a core principle of AI ethics to ensure that autonomous systems remain under human control and do not cause unintended harm so AI বিলাক হিউমেনে কন্ট্ৰোল কৰিব লাগে বুলি কৈছে ন so মই এতিয়া মোৰ মাৰ্কছখিনি ক্যালকুলেট কৰি চাম কিমান পালো আজি ইমান ভাল নহব যেন লাগিছে ৰে প্ৰথমতে নেগেটিভখিনি ক্যালকুলেট কৰো নেগেটিভ কেইটা হৈছে 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 নম্বৰ নেগেটিভ কৈছে বহুত গৈছে কারেক্ট কেটা হইছে সব 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 54 correct 54 correct হলে 2 number করি এতে তখন 8 আর 10 প্লাস 10 21 54 correct এতে কিমান থাকিলে 7 আর এতে 10 পার দিগলে 87 আহিল আছে নামক আতার পর গলে 10 পার দিগলে 8 so আজি 87 মার্কস ক্যারি করব পারিলো so bye bye guys